meditate to the Divine Spirit. Let us meditate on the Divine Spirit and pray to Him for the welfare of the whole humanity. Om Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatar Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namah Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna has given most valuable practical instructions for leading spiritual life. One is ordinary life, where you find people living engaged in worldly activities, always busy. That kind of life is based on aparavidya. That means lower knowledge. There are two types of knowledge. One is the lower knowledge, the other one higher knowledge. One is aparavidya, the other one is paravidya. They are quite distinct. There is no confusion about the secular knowledge and spiritual knowledge. They are quite distinct, quite clear. It depends upon what you really want. So you have to determine yourself what type of life you want to live upon. So you have to take decision, then take all necessary steps to move onward in your spiritual journey. Sri Ramakrishna is there to give guidance. Every step Sri Ramakrishna tells us how to move upon. It's a well-disciplined, systematic life. Once, Shambhu Malik, one of the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, one day he said to him, "Well, please bless me, sir, that I may spend all my money for good purposes. Building hospitals, dispensaries, making roads, digging wells, and so on." No doubt these activities are good, but Sri Ramakrishna wanted to correct him, wanted to make him understand clearly how he should proceed on this subject. He said, Well, it's wonderful. You are having desire to engage yourself in philanthropic activities. It will be good if you can do these things in a spirit of detachment. Detachment. It's a very significant word. Detachment follows self-effacement. Self-effacement follows love of God. Love of God leads to realization. Whatever you may do, Sri Ramakrishna said to him, you must always remember the aim of life is the attainment of God. Be sure of the goal and not the building of hospitals and dispensaries. Suppose God appeared before you and said to you, accept a boon from me. Would you then ask him, oh God, build me some hospitals and dispensaries? Or would you not rather pray to him, oh God, may I have pure love at your lotus feet? May I have your uninterrupted vision. After realizing God, one feels that God alone is the doer and we are but His instruments. Then why should we forget Him and destroy ourselves by being involved in too many activities? After realizing Him, one may, through His grace, become His instrument in building many hospitals and dispensaries. So, mark these statements. Sri Ramakrishna want spiritual welfare of the aspirants. So he is giving all these instructions very thoroughly. You are in the world, you have to conduct yourself in the world. There is no question about it. But there is a way to do it. The way is detachment. Do the duties in a detached way. Sri Ramakrishna gives an example of a jackfruit. There's a particular fruit. It's a big fruit. You have to rub your hands with oil before you open the fruit. Otherwise, the sticky milk will smear your hands. The maid servant in a rich man's house, how does she work? She performs all her duties, but her mind dwells on her home in the country. This is an example of doing duty in a detached way. Sri Ramakrishna said, attachment to God. In other words, love for Him. And secondly, prayer. These are the ways to realize God. There is no complication here. Everything is simple, clear. So, what Sri Ramakrishna has stressed here is the importance of practicing detachment. You have to practice detachment. If you have to march onward in the spiritual journey. It is true, life is full of difficulties. It is true, life is full of disappointments. Without a certain degree of detachment, difficult to lead a sane, normal, peaceful life. Even to enjoy art, even to enjoy sports or some entertainments, we need what is called aesthetic detachment. When a man goes to a theater or a stadium and buys a ticket, what he actually pays for is 1 or 2 hours detachment. He spends 1 or 2 hours there. Why he is relaxed? Because he is completely detached during that period. Though detachment is an important psychological factor in normal social life, it is difficult to practice. The problem of detachment can be understood only at the deeper levels of personality. For the roots of attachment lie deep within us. It's only spiritual life that studies man in depth. And it is as a spiritual discipline that we are dealing with detachment here. In this sense, detachment is known as vairagya, dispassion. Your intellect should be sharp enough to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. Discrimination and detachment are very important preparatory disciplines. Both must go together. Detachment completes the process of discrimination. Discrimination without detachment is lame. It doesn't lead the soul forward. Detachment without discrimination is blind. It leads the soul astray. When coordinated, these two disciplines cut the soul's bonds and turn it away from the futile struggles of the ego for existence in the mundane world. Discrimination gives us understanding and direction. But these are of little use unless they move the will and make us act in the right way. A well-known verse in the Mahabharata brings out clearly the difference between the two disciplines. You know, there is a famous character, Duryodhana, the villain of the Mahabharata. He said, first I quote Sanskrit, then I will translate into English. Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi, janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi. It's the most important verse. What he says is, I know what virtue is, but I am unable to practice it. I know what vice is, but I am unable to desist from it. This is a statement made by Duryodhana. This statement can as well as be taken as a poignant expression of the dilemma of modern man. His knowledge and discrimination far exceed his power of detachment. The result is an intensification of his sorrow and suffering. If we don't practice detachment, you have to be always accompanied by sufferings. People say spiritual life is no doubt a good life, but they want to find some excuse. There is no freedom in it. What do they mean by freedom? Freedom to go to a movie? Freedom to read novels? To enjoy the pleasures of life? In other words, freedom for the senses, freedom for attachment. They have attachment to certain objects or experiences. It is freedom for this attachment that is generally known as freedom. But real freedom is not in attachment, but in detachment. If you are aspiring for liberation, you have to practice detachment. It's only when we try to detach ourselves from certain habits and experiences that we realize how little free we are. There is a story. A man saw something like a blanket floating in the river, and he swam to it. Then he began to shout for help. The people who were standing on the shore told him to leave it and swim back. Simple. The man shouted back, I have left it, but it does not leave me. What he had mistaken for a blanket was not a blanket, but it was a bear. It's easy to get attached to persons and objects, but difficult to detach ourselves from them. We generally think that we have the freedom to act as we like. But modern psychology has shown that a good deal of our actions are unconsciously motivated. What we take to be a free action may be found to have a hidden desire behind it. Almost all our actions are prompted by various kinds of desires. And it is this action with desire that we often mistake for a free action. Nor are we free to think as we like. A little introspection will show that thoughts do not come from nowhere. When we look at the sky and see clouds moving across it, we are likely to think that they are drifting aimlessly. They are simply moving. Actually, however, their movements are governed by meteorological laws. In the same way, every thought that arises in our mind has a cause behind it. Thoughts are produced by samskaras, latent impressions of past experiences. And their sprouting follows certain laws of the mental world. Under a given set of mental conditions, particular type of thoughts alone can rise in the mind. Apart from this, so many unknown forces, especially thought currents emanating from other people, are influencing our mind. Where then is our freedom to think as we please? In order to practice dhyana or meditation, we must have the freedom to think spiritual thoughts and the freedom to direct their course to a particular center of consciousness. This inner freedom comes only by detaching ourselves from distracting lower thoughts. It is only by attempting this that we understand how much we are controlled by past samskaras. True freedom lies in detachment from the hold of samskaras. The samskaras are ruling you. They are controlling you. They are directing your activities, everything. The samskaras make you mad. So you have to detach yourselves from the hold of the samskaras. Unless we gain a certain degree of this freedom, it is difficult to practice meditation. Detachment is thus an unavoidable preparatory discipline in meditative life. Sri Ramakrishna sang a song, "Dwell, O mind, within yourself. Enter no other's home. If you but seek there, you will find all you are seeking, searching for. Cherish my gracious Divine Mother tenderly within, O mind. May you and I alone behold her, letting no one else intrude. It is possible to cherish Divine Mother tenderly within through the practice of detachment. Through detachment, you develop true love of God. It's only when you love God truly, you enjoy peace and bliss. Page 518. It was about dusk. Many of the devotees took their leave. A lamp was lighted in Sri Ramakrishna's room and incense was burnt. After some time, the moon came out, flooding the sky with its light. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on his couch. He was in a spiritual mood, absorbed in contemplation of the Divine Mother. Now and then he chanted her hallowed name. Adhar, a devotee, was sitting on the floor. M and Niranjan too were there. Sri Ramakrishna began to talk to Adhar. Master said, "What? You have come just now? We have had so much kirtan and dancing." Shyamdas began the kirtan. He is Ram's music teacher, but I didn't enjoy his singing very much. I didn't feel like dancing. Later, I heard about his character. I was told that he had as many mistresses as there are hairs on a man's head. Didn't you get the job? Adhar held the post of deputy magistrate, a government post that carried with it great prestige. He earned 300 rupees a month. He had applied for the office of vice chairman of the Calcutta municipality. The salary attached to this office was 1,000 rupees. In order to secure it, Adhar had interviewed many influential people in Calcutta. Master said to M. and Niranjan, "Hazra said to me, please pray to the Divine Mother for Adhar, that he may secure the job." Adhar made the same request to me. I said to the mother, "O Mother, Adhar has been visiting you. May he get the job if it pleases you." But at the same time I said to her, "How small-minded he is. He is praying to you for things like that and not for knowledge and devotion." To Adhar, Sri Ramakrishna said, "Why did you dance attendance on all those small-minded people? You have seen so much. You have heard so much. After reading the entire Ramayana, to ask whose wife Sita is?" Adhar said, "A man cannot but do these things if he wants to lead a householder's life. You have not forbidden us to, have you?" Master said, "Nivritti alone is good and not pravritti." Nivritti and pravritti mean, respectively, inwardness of the mind and its inclination to outer enjoyment. Once when I was in a God-intoxicated state, I was asked to go to the manager of the Kali temple to sign the receipt for my salary. They all do it here. But I said to the manager, I can't do that. I am not asking for my salary. You may give it to someone else if you want. I am the servant of God alone. Whom else shall I serve? Malik noticed the late hours of my meals and arranged for a cook. He gave me 1 rupee for a month's expenses. That embarrassed me. I had to run to him whenever he sent for me. It would have been quite a different thing if I had gone to him on my own accord. In leading the worldly life, one has to humor mean-minded people and do many such things. After the attainment of my exalted state, I noticed how things were around me and said to the Divine Mother, "O Mother, please change the direction of my mind right now so that I may not have to flatter rich people." To other, Sri Ramakrishna said, "Be satisfied with the job you have. People hanker after a post paying 50 or 100 rupees and you are earning 300 rupees. You are a deputy magistrate. I saw a deputy magistrate at Kamarpur. His name was Ishwar Ghoshal. He had a turban on his head. Men's very bones trembled before him. I remember having seen him during my boyhood. He is a deputy magistrate. A person to be trifled with? Serve him, whom you are already serving. The mind becomes soiled by serving but one master. And to serve 5 masters? Once a woman became attached to a Muslim and invited him to her room. But he was a righteous person. He said to her that he wanted to use the toilet and must go home to get his water jar for water. The woman offered him her own, but he said, "No, that will not do. I shall use the jar to which I have already exposed myself. I can't expose myself before a new one." With these words he went away. That brought the woman to her senses. She understood that a new water jar, in her case, signified a parama. Narendra was in a straitened circumstances on account of his father's unexpected death. He had been seeking a job to maintain his mother, brothers and sisters. He had served a few days as headmaster of the Vidyasagar school at Bobazar. Others said, "May I ask if Narendra would accept a job?" Masters replied, "Yes, he would. He has his mother, brothers and sisters to support." Other, "Well, Narendra can support his family with 50 or with 100 rupees. Will he try for 100? Master, worldly people think highly of their wealth. They feel that there is nothing like it. Shambhu said, "It is my desire to leave all my property at the lotus feet of God." But does God care for money? He wants from his devotees knowledge, devotion, discrimination, and renunciation. After the theft of the jewelry from the temple of Radhakanta, Mathur Babu said, "Oh God, you could not protect your own jewelry? What a shame." Once he wanted to give me an estate and consulted Hriday about it. I overheard the whole thing from the Kali temple and said to him, "Please don't harbor any such thought. It will injure me greatly." Others said, "I can tell you truthfully, sir, that not more than 6 or 7 persons like you have been born since the creation of the world." Master said, "How so?" "There certainly are people who have given up everything for God. As soon as a man gives up his wealth, people come to know about him. But it is also true that there are others unknown to people. Are there not such holy men in Upper India?" Others said, "I know at least one such person in Calcutta. He is Devendranath Tagore." Master said, "What did he say?" "Who has enjoyed the world as much as he Once I visited him at his house with Madhur Babu. I saw that he had many young children. The family physician was there writing out prescriptions. If after having 8 children, a man does not think of God, then who will? If after enjoying so much wealth, Devendranath had not thought of God, then people would have cried shame upon him. Niranjan said, but he paid off all his father's debts. Master said, keep quiet, don't torment me anymore. Do you call anyone a man who doesn't pay off his father's debts if he is able to? But I admit that Devendranath is infinitely greater than other worldly men who are sunk in their worldliness. They can learn much from him. We shall stop here. Being detached, you can manifest true love because you love the thing without expecting anything in return. You are practicing the value of love for love's sake. Once Swami Vivekananda, in his formative period, he used to come every day, walking several miles to meet Swami, to meet Sri Ramakrishna. Sometimes he would run from his home, and every day he would hear his talks, and he was so fortunate to be with him and get training that way. And Sri Ramakrishna, the master teacher he was, he trained him very thoroughly because he was to serve the humanity later on. So, one day, Sri Ramakrishna put him in a test. As usual, he came to Sri Ramakrishna. There were some people there. Sri Ramakrishna deliberately didn't take notice of Vivekananda's coming there. He just didn't look at him at all. He didn't greet him. He didn't tell him hello. Just he went on talking with others. And Vivekananda, of course, at that time Vivekananda, his name was Narendranath. After staying for some hours, he used to stay for 2-3 hours. So after staying for 2-3 hours, he went back. Next day he came. Next day also Sri Ramakrishna never greeted him, never spoke a word, never looked at him. Like this many days passed. Narendranath did not stop coming. On the other hand, he was very regular. He would not miss even a day. Sri Ramakrishna was overwhelmed. He asked him, how is it? I am watching you all these days. I didn't even look at you. I didn't greet you. I didn't say hello to you. In spite of that, you came. If anybody in that position, they would have stopped long back. They would never turn in the direction of Dakshineshwar temple. But you have been coming so regularly, so devotedly. How is it? Narendranath said, Master, I am coming because I love you. That's enough. He is coming there for desiring nothing. That attitude. That is the attitude of detachment. You love God, and you will see how God's power works through you. And Sri Ramakrishna later on told this incident to many devotees. See, that is why he is called Narendra. Narendra means the king among the men. If you translate that word, Indra means Lord of the men. Kingly, he is kingly. Don't be afraid of struggling, but be humble. Don't be egoistic. You must be associated with holy people. They will direct you. They will show you the method of discrimination. They will show you what is right, what is wrong. That's what the scriptures always describe. So, that's why they insist upon the holy company. It's one of the important. So, it starts with holy company. Your spiritual life starts with holy company. Then you will be able to understand what you have to discriminate. And they will tell you what is unreal, what is real, What is real, you accept it. What is unreal, you reject it. And then they give training in that respect. Why is it bothering you? What is the source of botheration? They explain. Remove the cause, the botheration will go. So like that, they teach the Vedantic teachings of the Upanishads, where it deals with the core, the essence. What is the essence? The essence is the Atman, encased in this body-mind complex. All the suffering is because of the identification with body, with the mind. So, proper discrimination means you have to dissociate yourself with body-mind complex. Dissociate from the mind means dissociate from the desires. It is the desires that pull you in all directions. It is desires that make you restless all the time. It is desires that cause you untold sufferings. So, whatever that distracts you, you must reject it. Oh, this is not good for me, so I should not go in for that. That's called the detachment. Discrimination. So much power, like that he begins to think and his head reels because of the power. But if he thinks it's God's power, then his head will not reel. Like that. Important point is you have to come in touch with, you must be associated with holy people. You must always read scriptures every day and understand them properly, apply them in your life. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust are the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time. May the earth be blessed with crops. May all countries be freed from calamity. May holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.